Okay, I'm gonna look at this weight is costing it mostly. I'm just gonna go home, even though I want to go to Dollar Tree and get some stuff. I think I'm gonna hold off on that. Yeah, nice tattoos. Oh, his neck right there, so fucking hot. Okay. And
does your home have a gourmet kitchen with an oversized pantry so you can store everything? What about an office with Wi-Fi built-in and hardwired internet outlets for gaming? Or a gorgeous porch or patio for more outdoor living? With Pulte's innovative and modern floor plans, you can have them all. At Pulte, we build homes that think ahead to tomorrow so you can build the life you're dreaming of today. Find your home at Pulte.com. Pulte Homes, more life built in. Equal housing opportunity.
Oftentimes, when somebody gets indicted, authorities don't have the full case when they indict. You have the indictment, and you use that to get more information to do the rest of your investigation. Any normal person would already be indicted for this. Yeah. There's enough evidence, enough obvious red flags that they are committing, vast corruption, that you would already be arrested at this point.
I want to get you angry, so I want to play Juan Williams. He feels differently than you because you're too happy.
of course.
Cut 43.
But you compare that to the graft and the grifting for Trump golf courses, Trump hotels, Chinese shoe deals with the daughter, the son-in-law getting billions from the Saudis. It's unbelievable. Even this week, you have to compare it to the trouble we've heard about in New York with the sexual assault case against Trump. But this is what Hunter Biden has come down to now. He is a distraction, a shield against all the trouble that Trump is experiencing.
See, this is what I love about Juan. I mean, if you want to know what the left is going to say about stuff, or Democrats are going to say about stuff, when all the chips are down and it's looking really bad for them, he presents it, and I admire that. It's nonsense. It's insanity. It's ludicrous. You think if they actually had goods on Donald Trump, they wouldn't have brought them? You think they were playing softball with Donald Trump over the last 6 years?
I think what's interesting is that if Donald Trump is in business before, he owns a golf course in Scotland, okay? He owns buildings in Turkey. He also has Saudi Arabian interests. I will take our relationship with Saudi Arabia then, as opposed to now. I will take the confrontation that Donald Trump did with China then, as opposed to now.
I was supposed to
it
go,
doesn't
not
mean
you.
in 1999 and in 2019, or not 19, but 2013. He couldn't be doing deals internationally. When you become a politician, if Jamie Dimon decided to run for office, they might go, why were you invest? Because I worked for JP Morgan Chase, I was the CEO. Well, then you make a judgment who you're going to vote for. But you can't undo what someone did prior to what they did.
And let's not forget that Donald Trump made a lot of money before he came into office. Voters voted for him knowing all of that. Voters also one of the biggest things that went to Trump's advantage when he ran was that people were even people who were not normal Republican voters are so tired of Washington and so tired of what they perceived to be the corruption that they thought that Trump was honest enough and would sort of say anything, that he was uncorruptible, he was unbribable. And that was a huge weapon to his advantage. And what's strange about it is you flip it over to Joe Biden, and you have this guy who has been on a government salary between him and his wife his entire life. He's a millionaire today. He has houses all over the place, and he's made all of his money on the government tit. And the credibility that Trump had because he came into it having made his own money and actually sacrificing in order to run for office.
It's a little like Bloomberg in New York.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then, by the way, Bloomberg was writing checks. He would walk around and just go, I can fix this. And we just write checks. He wouldn't have him tell anyone about it. I don't know Mike Bloomberg too well. I only talked to him a couple of times. But he was really effective. He had an objective. And that's the goal. If you are successful as a business person, feel you're very organized, set up systems, can motivate people, I want you in government.
Yeah.
Get in, get out.
Right. And it wasn't that Mike Bloomberg was like giving free stuff away.
Richer than Trump, by the way.
Yeah, it wasn't that Mike Bloomberg was giving free stuff away to the city that made voters like him. It was that by doing that, he demonstrated he didn't need to lie, cheat, and steal from the public. And Trump had that same. I would say that maybe that was his. You remember, like at one point, he would make jokes about how, like, I know all of you all are bought off because at one point I was buying you all off.
Right.
But he would say stuff like that, and it was like, I think it had a profound impact on voters that we, to this day, we still don't fully appreciate.
Well, I would say this. I do think, I want you to hear what Chris Christie said yesterday first, and then see how you feel about it. So they hit Chris Christie when his numbers are down, when numbers are up. Chris Christie's oftentimes the most interesting pundit on the Sunday shows. I wish we had him
larger
here.
than life.
True. Here's what he says right now. Cut 4.
On the Republican side, until there is a campaign engaged, Trump is untouchable. By definition, as you know, a candidate's untouchable until they're touched. And you see what the reaction is to being touched. And that will happen in this race. There's no question in my mind that he will be attacked directly.
And he went on to say this, cut 5.
Very few of those, including the ones who are already in, are willing to take him on frontally as you have.
Yeah, no, and I think that's a problem. I mean, I think that's a problem in our party. I mean, if you can't, I don't believe in this lane business. We're talking about different lanes. There's one lane. And the one lane Donald Trump's at the head of. So if you want to be the nominee, you got to go through Donald Trump. I don't think there's another way to do it.
Chris Christie, he really shouldn't be talking about lanes. He would shut down all the lanes on the bridge.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, he should stay away from talking about lanes.
But having said that, because he'd have fun with that line too, by the way, if he was here.
Yeah.
But is he right? Is the only way to deal with Trump is head on? And do you think Ron DeSantis will do that? That's the issue.
Yeah, maybe. I guess to some degree. I mean, but also Chris Christie's a big mouth, rude big mouth. He gets away with that stuff. And he and Trump are sort of on equal footing in a lot of ways. They are both bombastic, and he gets away with a lot of stuff that most people wouldn't get away with. I would actually argue that the best way to go after Trump in a primary is to actually not go after him on full attack. It's to celebrate. It would be to celebrate his successes and to congratulate him for all this kind of stuff and thank him for it. But but then turn and say, but for fairly or not, you have turned into like kryptonite for the party. And I don't believe this, but I'm saying you could make that argument. These people seem to believe this argument. And say, I'll get your policies done. If Ron DeSantis would say that. Personally, I don't, and we'll see if that works, because Ron DeSantis can make much of that argument. I think criticizing, there are things you could criticize him for.
Red light, camera ahead.
But you're not going to do it by being sort of to the left of Trump. You're only going to do it by going to sort of the Trump of Trump. But my argument is, I don't think he's kryptonite to the party. I think he can still win easily.
And I still think, I don't know about the general.
Chris Christie can't win. He can't win the primary or the general.
We'll see. Ron DeSantis.
Man, you really like Chris Christie.
People
can't see this, but I mean, he's got me in a headlock right now.
No, never.
So upset about this.
Yeah, I'm going to wait for the subway to get you in a headlock. But I will say this. Well, I like Chris Christie. I'm friendly with him, and I do think he's incredibly insightful and he's direct. I don't think rude direct. I think is good. But the other thing is with Ron DeSantis, the fight he has to have is direct, like you said, but you can't say you didn't build the wall and you didn't cut spending and you were, what else was a common thing that they say? You said you want to build a wall.
Or the COVID stuff?
You're going to drain the swamp.
Yeah.
Excuse me, when that's a Chris Noon and Chris Christie.
Yeah.
attack. I don't agree with that attack. Because everybody knows why the wall wasn't built. He had to repurpose defense funding to do that. Everybody knows that he did the best he can to drain the swamp, but he's only one person. The swamp was attacking him at the same time. He began to do it, and COVID hit.
Well, yeah,
I don't think you can criticize Trump on either one of those two things, because in reality is, Paul Ryan came back and said, to get the defense spending I need, I got to cut your wall down to $1.6 billion, but I'll get it next time, and he didn't. Got $1.68 billion. Wasn't enough. He needed 10 to 20 billion to build it.
And the obvious comeback for Trump, if you're going to attack him, say, oh, you just weren't effective. You had a great policy platform, but you weren't effective. You can always come back, yeah, I wasn't effective because wusses like you in the Republican Party didn't back me up. And that is true. I mean, Donald Trump never, most presidents get like a year, a honeymoon of 6 months. Trump went from inauguration to impeachment.
Absolutely.
He never had
I hear you.
anything. And when you look at his biggest successes, his biggest successes were the successes he could have that had nothing to do with Congress or
Trade deals.
Like the Jerusalem thing, or even the success at the border, which was done by executive
courts.
Yeah, but the border is the most obvious one because he did so many of that through executive orders, which of course meant that Joe Biden could flip them over immediately, which is a problem. But he really can point to that and say to Ron DeSantis or whoever is making this argument that you're great, but you just weren't effective. He could say, yeah, I wasn't effective because of wusses like you.
But DeSantis was his biggest backer.
Yeah.
That's why he was. That's why they.
But
That's
I'm just thinking about it like
and
on
he
a
was
debate stage.
Oh, we're gonna take a short time out. Come back more with Charlie. All right, don't move. I don't think you can go. You can go.
Coming to you on a need-to-know basis, because man, do you need to know. It's Brian Kilmeade.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month. And that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch. Too, the customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need, 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
A lot of new enrollments, huh? Braylon, Monique's daycare is crawling with new arrivals. Hey, sweetie, are you hungry? She needs more early childhood educators. Did your socks slip off again? And a nap. Hey there, little guy. Okay. Whoa. Indeed can help her hire great people fast. I need Indeed. Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Be more cyber zen. Get NordVPN. With a few simple clicks, NordVPN will block online trackers, secure your devices from malware-infected downloads, and block access to malicious websites. With NordVPN, enjoy internet without trackers, without malicious websites, without malware-ridden files. Be more cyber zen. Take advantage of our special offer now at NordVPN.com.
You can listen to Sonoma County's FM news talk station without a radio. Just download the KSRO app. Listen live, hear your favorite shows on demand, and get the latest in local news, traffic, and weather. The KSRO app is available for all devices. Download it now.
Sonoma County's FM news talk, KSRO.
At Flora-Terra, Sonoma County's destination dispensary, it's clone time.
Spring has sprung. Plant your garden now. Carefully propagated healthy clones are handpicked from their nursery.
Strains include lemon cherry, gelato, jealousy, ruts, and kush mint. Go to FloraTerraCA.com for info on how to care for your clones.
Now 3 locations in Santa Rosa, Coffee Park, downtown on 4th, and the newest at the corner of Mission and Highway 12.
Open open 9 to 9 Monday through Saturday and 9 to 8 on Sundays. FloraTerraCA.com.
It's prime whale watching season on the Sonoma coast. Reserve a room at the Inn at the Tides, then set out for Bodega Head. Through May, you can spot Pacific gray whales as they migrate north to Alaska.
Every room has a view of the bay. The Tides Wharf restaurant is open daily from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Your stay includes a complimentary bottle of wine in your room, heated indoor-outdoor pool, and complimentary breakfast on the waterfront.
Tell your smartphone to call the Inn at the Tides at Bodega Bay. The Inn at the Tides, your beacon to Bodega Bay.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Guy Benson explains what happened today in D.C. Weeknights at 6.
Sonoma County's FM News Talk, KSRO.
On FS1.
The more you'll know. It's Brian Kilmeade.
Charlie Hurd, what else are we going to see you on today?
Let's see. Well, Gutfeld tonight.
You have Gutfeld tonight?
Yeah, so I think we're going to have a whole segment on how great you are.
Really? I'm pretty sure I saw the rundown. It's not going to be on that show ever.
Really?
Probably, yeah.
Really?
Really. Although you would lead it. You're the perfect person to be on it.
Oh, no. I've got my pom-poms and my, little cheerleader outfit.
So if you're Trump, are you surprised how disciplined Trump's been over the last few weeks? I think this has been brilliant that he's laid out, let Joe Biden deal with some major issues, and has not allowed any distraction.
So I think it's kind of interesting the things that Trump gets hit for. I think he's actually a lot more disciplined than a lot of people give him credit for. When you think about, and he's also a remarkably fast learner because he, obviously at the end of the day he wants to win. But yeah, I mean, I think when you look at 2020 versus today, all of the arguments that Biden made for his election, he's a nice guy. He's gonna calm everything down. He's
restore America's prestige on the world stage.
All of those things, he has completely messed the bed on every single one of them. And I think that I think that the matchup in 2024 is going to be vastly.
And also little things, taking away our gas ovens. They are.
Oh my gosh.
They're limiting the water on dishwashers.
That's conspiracy.
Right.
You're a nut job. Tinfoil hat. No wonder Gutfeld makes fun.
Wow, you're not allowed to do the show tonight. I don't need two people turning on me.
No, I always defend your honor.
You never do. Did you know that premium American whiskey has been the investment secret of industry insiders for a generation? Spirits Capital Corporation has developed an investment instrument that now allows you to participate. Cask investment deeds, or CIDs, are secured by newly filled barrels of premium American whiskey that some experts say will steadily increase in value as they mature. Industry data indicates that fine whiskey as an asset class is outperforming Wall Street, gold, and treasuries, and CIDs are achieving double-digit returns in just 3 to 5 years. American whiskey has never gone to zero. Even during the Great Depression, whiskey tripled in value. So get in on the ground level. I want you to do this. Call 1-800-988-8070. That's 1-800-988-8070. Or go to caskdeeds.com. That's CASKDEEDS.com. Paid for by Spirits Capital Corporation. Individual results may vary. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision. KSRO.
North Bay real estate is ever-changing and is a leading indicator of our community's economic health. To keep up with the latest on everything real estate, from inspections to mortgages, pricing trends, and availability, tune in each Sunday morning from 9 to 10 to the Mike Kelly Real Estate Hour with Allison Norman, the longest-running real estate show in the North Bay. For more information and podcasts, go to KSRO.com and search the Real Estate Hour.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go,
shortness of breath, fatigue,